For those of you who are unfamiliar with using a wet palette, this is a small Masterson's Stay Wet palette. Yeah, I have to do a little bit of research where you can get them. I get them sometimes at Michael's and sometimes Joann's, but mostly I get my things at conventions, and that's where I got this. What I've done is I've cut 2 thicknesses of paper towel, and I've laid it inside. These things come with sponges, but I don't think that they really work that well. So what we do is we take out the sponge and we put in the paper towel, and then we take a mister and we completely, totally soak these paper towels till they're absolutely just soaked. We don't want any standing water on top of them, but we want them soaked all the way through and very, very wet. Then we just put our paint right down on top of this paper towel. I don't use the Stay Wet palette paper. I used to, but my mixes kept drying up on me even inside this sealed palette. So now I just do what David and the HAs tell me that is the best way to do it, and I found that they're right. What I'm doing is I'm pushing this wet paper towel down so that it bonds with the bottom of the palette. And this also makes sure that every square inch of this is soaking wet. And I'm going to put my paint right down on here, and it'll soak in just a little bit, but you would be surprised at how little it spreads. Then that way, when your paint is in there and you're finished painting for the day, you've got your color mixes, and you snap the lip on tight, and it's protected, and you can go back, and this will keep for several weeks. I've done it. If you're going to keep it that long, you really need to open it up, and you can see I use mine a lot. But then what I do is I spray the inside of the lid. Turn it over and snap it shut. By spraying the inside of the lid, that gives a really moisture environment, and that keeps your paints fresh and wet. And if you're painting and you want to walk away from your painting for half an hour, 2 hours, spray the lid and snap it shut. And also, while you're painting and you have your palette open, then every once in a while, whenever about every 30-40 minutes, give your paints a drink. I don't have my paints in here right now, but I'll show you this later in the video with the color mixes. And just kind of pull your hand up away and give the paints a drink. Spray a little bit of water on there. And this will keep your paints very, very, very fresh. And for those of you who haven't used a wet palette, you're about to be really really glad that you've discovered this and learned how to do it. Because the waste of paint will go down to absolutely almost zero.